Okay, we're gonna see how this goes. When you are logged into your computer, you should see a brown briefcase that says Field Desk. Go ahead and double click on this. And I'm gonna close out this one real quick. This is where you're gonna log in and get all of your work orders to complete. So at the beginning of each night, go ahead and click this check for messages button, and all your work orders will be downloaded to your queue. And I usually notify all the work orders at the very beginning of your period, but you do have to press this check for messages button because every night, because it will update any like updates or pull in any like maybe last minute work orders. You can see sometimes it shuts down and restarts. That's okay. I usually like to click that button just in case to make sure everything's in there. And here are all of our practice work orders. In this column here, you'll see route numbers. This is just a good tool for our auditors to use. They can click on it to sort. Not all of my test work orders have a route number, but all of your regular work orders will. And this is just to kind of help the auditor out and figuring out which property is sort of near each other. So theoretically, 5 is going to be somewhat near 15. 15 is going to be really close to 18. 18 might be close to 25. So it's just a good tool to plan your routes. Some auditors use this. Some auditors use their own like websites, Google Maps, different program, if that's easier. But this is just a tool for you. So let's click on name so that we're working on the same work orders at the same time, and double click on B-Rebel. There's a couple of places where you need to look for notes that will help you audit the site. The first place to find auditor notes is in this big box here. Right now, we don't have any notes in here, but if there were auditor notes, they would be here. The second place to look for auditor notes is to go to this equipment tab and single click on auditor. And there's some auditor notes here that says audit whole site, even do not service areas. And there's a third place to check for notes, and it's in this problem. And normally they would be here in the CSR notes. It would say auditor note and something. These are one-time notes just for this particular property, for this particular date. The other notes are notes that you would have to read every single week. Those don't change. So after clicking on those 3 places to look for our notes, and this one we have to remember to audit the whole site, go to the attachments tab, and you're always going to want to look for the lighting map. And on our test work orders, there's 3 of them, but there should only be 1 on your real work orders. And so double click on that. And sometimes it takes a bit for the map to load. And here we have our property, which is at this address. And this is the property and the map. There's always going to be a key down here, or sometimes it's down in this area, and it has what each of the fixtures, the different symbols are for the different fixtures. If you look in the back of your training manual, there are examples of different types of fixtures. So these are parking lot poles. In the back of the building is usually wall packs. They're on the side of the building. They're more industrial looking. In the front are usually sconces, which are on the sides of the building, but more decorative. These are all soffits, which are the can lights that are in the overhangs that shine down onto the sidewalk. We've got some roof string lights up here. We have one little fluorescent soffit over here. So over here it says audit but do not service, and then these are do not service buildings, so you don't have to worry about the lights on this building, but everything else you have to look for. So a good tip sometimes on these bigger properties is to look for a pole, because all of our poles are numbered. Our building fixtures do not have stickers on them with the numbers, but our poles do. So if you're parked next to a pole and it's pole 4, and then you're looking this way, you're like, okay, this is building B. Our lighting technicians will power up the sites and double check the outages first before making repairs. So like if you accidentally mark 41 instead of 40, it's okay. We do try to ask you to be as accurate as possible, but they will double check to make sure that this one that you marked out is actually out before doing the repairs. So once you drive around and you find outages, you're going to want to click on this stamp button, but you're want to click, I always click on this bottom arrow here. And if you come to, sorry, there's a bunch of different stamps here. If when you open it up, it's just like this, you're going to want to click on, there's 5 different categories. You're going to want to open up the outage stamps. And here are all of our outage stamps. The red with an X is just an outage, and there's different sizes. M is missing. So if the fixture is completely missing, if the wall pack is pulled off the wall, you'd use the M. D for dim. If it's just the light looks like it's about to go out, it's significantly dimmer. C is cycling, which also means flickering. So you could use that for flickering ones, but for the most part, you're going to use these outage stamps. I always start off with the smallest one. And if the fixtures are bigger, you can make them bigger, or you can choose the medium one. But we always ask our auditors to just make sure that the stamp is just on the fixture that's out. If there were like both of these were out, you can do both of them here. So say both fixtures on pole 3 are out there. Say this wall pack back here is out. And maybe like a couple of these sconces or soffits are out. So you can just mark them up by using the stamp. If you wanted to use different sizes, you can change them up here, but see, the stamp is pretty big, so you wouldn't want to do the stamp on one of these because it would be hard to tell which one's out. So start with the smallest one first and then work your way up if needed. We also ask that our auditors use a black outage stamp for these red fixtures. But then you're going to have to make them smaller. Just resize that yourself because we only have one size for the black. So once you're done marking up your map, you're going to want to go back to this home button. And then you're going to want to go back down here to your field desk because we need to grab the work order number. And the work order number you can find just down here on this tab here. It's work order number 5. Mine says 562590. Yours is going to be different. But memorize that 6-digit number because we're going to want to go back to our PDF editor and go to typewriter tool over here. And then always in the top left above the address in this white space, we're going to want to write the work order number. And I already forgot, so I'm going to have to go back. 562590. 562590. And then you're going to want to do the date that you're out there. So just pretend we're auditing right now. It'd be 1/17/23, and then the time that you're out there. And then there's 3 things that you're going to want to choose: B for bucket truck, V for van, or all okay. You do all okay if there were no outages. B for bucket truck is for outages that are 16 feet or higher in the air that we need a big bucket truck with a big boom to reach. Those would be our tall parking lot poles, those big monument signs when you drive into shopping centers that say Kmart, Michaels, etc. Anything on the second floor, like second floor wall packs or second floor soffits, those would need a bucket truck. If all the outages are shorter and can be reached with a guy on a 15-foot ladder, then you're going to want to put V for van. Also, we only send our technicians out to the site once to do repair outages. So this is a tall pole, and these are all short fixtures back here with wall packs and first floor soffits. But because we have a pole, that supersedes everything, and we're going to need the bucket truck. So for this one, we're going to want to put B for bucket truck. Then you're always going to want to save it. So go up here to the save button and click that. And then you're always going to want to close out of this PDF editor, or else you won't be able to upload this map. So exit out of that by clicking the X. Now what we did was we just saved that map to this temporary file on your laptop, but we actually need to get the map into our software system to upload and send to the office. So you're always going to want to click options and then upload as new attachment. And then you're always going to want to click OK. Okay, so for some reason my said failed. I'm not able to open attachment file. Sometimes this happens. A lot of times this happens if my internet connection isn't great. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try again and upload pending attachments. Now it worked. So go ahead and retry it if needed. Sometimes it just, there's a hiccup. Do okay. So now this one is the one that you marked up, and you always want to make sure that this uploads okay. And it always says you have a yes in this column before you submit the work order to our office. So now that this is attached to the work order, this is your map, go ahead and go to update status. And because we have outages that need to be repaired, we're going to click audited and okay. Are you ready to submit this assignment? Yes. And then once you submit that, it automatically goes through and it is deleted from your queue. You won't be able to go back into that work order again. So if you made a mistake or something, you'd have to email me and just let me know the address of where you're at, and we can go from there. But once it's submitted to the office, it's gone out of your queue. So that's just basically the gist of what you're going to be doing. There's a bunch of different scenarios in all of these. So let's just complete all these work orders together. Go ahead and double click on Bedrock Management. Here's our work order number. There's notes, no notes here. Go ahead and go to the equipment, single click on auditor. There's no notes for you here. Go to problem. There's no notes for you here. So then go to attachments and double click on the lighting map. And you can see that the site is a lot smaller than the site on our previous property. Go ahead and click that stamp button, the little arrow below. And let's do the thin small one, or the small one too. You can see that this is kind of small, so then you might want to go up to the medium one. Oh yeah, that's much better for these poles. So I'm going to actually do just the short pole here, and then I'm going to go down to the small one and do this bollard here in the back, and maybe this bollard here in the front. So here's our little fixture key, so short pole and bollard. So these are all shorter poles, so we don't need a bucket truck for the site if these are the only outages. We just need the van. So we're going to go back to home, typewriter, grab that work order number from the field desk briefcase. Then the date, the time, and then V for van, because like I said, those are both short fixtures. do save and X out. Then go to options, upload as new attachment. Okay. One attachment uploaded, great, okay. It's here, it popped up at the top, it says yes. So then go update status, and again, because there's outages, we're gonna do audited, okay. Are you ready to submit this assignment? Yes. And it's disappeared from our queue. Let's go to Brontosaurus. No notes here. Equipment, single click on auditor. No notes here. Go to problem. Oh, so here's a note here. It says, new site, please also check landscaping lights along the parking lot entrance. So new sites sometimes aren't fully mapped with the fixtures, and you'll see what those maps look like in just a second. Go to attachments and double click on lighting maps. So you can see that there are no fixture code. There's no fixtures on these. This is because this is a brand new customer who just started service. And it takes our mapping department about 60 days-ish to send a mapper out there to map all the fixtures on the location. But we still want to be able to audit and service the site before then. So what you would do is if there are outages, and remember it said to check these landscaping lights, that's something that you may have not thought to do since this is like a brand new site. So you do the stamp button, and we'll do the medium outage stamp for blank maps just so that you can see. So pretend there's like a pull out here-ish. You can just put the stamp there. And then I always go to our typewriter tool, and then just somewhere near it, write pull so that they know what it is. Then go back to the stamp button, and over here, say there's a landscape light out. So you could do that. And then you got to go to home, typewriter, and then do landscape light. And then say that there's, you know, a sconce out here. So you could just do it there. And then typewriter sconce. All right. And then hopefully either the next audit that you do or the audit after that, there will actually be fixtures here to mark. So go back to the work order in field desk to grab the number. And then the date. Oops. Date. The time. And then we're going to do B for bucket truck since there was a poll there. And then save. And then close out. Then go to options, upload as new attachments. Okay. And then okay. And then update status because there were outages, go to audited and okay. Yes. And then that's gone. Double click on Dino Properties. And right here it says check in with security before accessing site. So that's where your ID badge and card magnet will come in useful. You can stick the card magnet on the side of your car. Just remember to take it off before you leave because it will fly off of your door if you go onto a surface street or onto the freeway. They're not that sticky, but that's what you would do. You'd have to find the security and check in. A lot of times it's just the little guy in the toll booth at the beginning. Equipment, single click on auditor, audit after 10 p.m. So that's why it's good, like when you get your whole route at the beginning of your route, it's kind of good to go through these work orders and look for these kind of notes before, just so that you don't get to the site and you realize you can't audit it because of time restrictions. Go to problem, nothing here. So then go to attachments. Always double click on the lighting map, not the mechanical map. And then here we go. This is a smaller property. Sometimes our maps have controls. Most of them don't, but you can always ignore the controls, like how to control the lights, because that's just for the technician. That's not for the auditor. But here's all of your key. And because this is a small site, we'll pretend that there's no outages. So you're still gonna need to go to your typewriter tool and then go back to the work order, 564783. And then the dates, the time, and then all okay, because there's no outages. And then save it. And then close. And then we still need to upload this map. Okay. Now, because there are no outages, we need to do the status differently because we don't want to dispatch a tech out here. We just want to complete out the work order. So if you go to update status, you can't hit completed. It's grayed out. So you always have to hit started first, the very bottom one, then do okay. And it's still here. It hasn't been submitted. So go to update status and then you can do completed. Okay. And yes, we can submit the assignment. There you go. Double click on Fred's Rock. Sometimes you'll see a bunch of notes in here, but none of these are for the auditor. So you can ignore all those. Go to equipment, single click on audit. Site powers down at midnight. That means that probably half of the lights at the site are going to shut off at midnight, probably to save money on electricity costs. So you have to get there before then. I do at least a half an hour before then, if not more. Go to problem. Auditor, take photos of newly installed wall packs on building B. This is again a one-time note that you'd need to do. So you'd have to find building B and then take a bunch of photos with your phone of the wall packs. And I will go over with you after this training when we talk on the phone about how to submit those. But just take them with your phone and then go to attachments and then the lighting map. And as you can see, this is quite a large site. So this would take you a lot longer to the audit than some of the smaller sites. There's even some tower lights, which kind of coincide to these towers over here. A lot of LEDs, so you would need the black outage stamp for those. So go ahead and pause this video right now. And I'm just gonna have you mark up this site as you want. Take your time to look through it and grab the different size outage stamps. You'll need the smaller ones, or maybe the smaller ones for these, the bigger ones maybe for these, the black one. Just go ahead and take your time with that. And then I am going to go ahead and press pause and then restart. So then go ahead and grab your work order number. And then again, the date, the time, and then either do B for bucket truck, B for van, or all okay. They'll do all okay, either B or V. And then save and exit out. Then go ahead and upload that map. Okay, great. And then update status. And because again, there were outages, it's audited. Okay. Now the last one is Wilma Corporate. It says audit only parking lot poles and bollards, and you must walk around both buildings, both floors to inspect the wall sconces. Go to equipment, single click on auditor. This one says 24 hours notice required. Email her a day in advance before audit. So that's when you'd have to go into your Gmail and just, copy paste this email and or tell her that you're going to be there the next day or on Friday or whenever you're going to be out there. And then you'd have to close out of this work order. And then once you're back on site, she also wants a service notification after the audit is complete. This is also, she just wants a copy of the map, and I'll show you how to do that in a bit. So go to problem, nothing here. Go to attachments, double click on the lighting map. And this is another blank site. And because it's small, let's just pretend it's an all okay. So we would go and grab the work order number. And then the date, the time, and then all okay, because there's no outages. Save, exit. And then first you have to upload the map. And then remember how the PM wants a copy of that? So you would actually, on the yes one that you just uploaded, you'd right click on it and do send email. And then it's the lighting inspection map. You would do okay. And then this is already pre-filled all for you. So then just go ahead and press send. And then now we'd update the status. And again, because there's no outages, we want to complete the work order. So we have to do started first and then completed. And that's it. We're all done with our training. Give me a call when you're done watching this video and you've done all your practice work orders. You can call from home if that's better too. Thanks.